Hello everybody, and let's make this easy crochet scrunchie that you can make in a few hours. So this is what you need. You need yarn of your choice in any size that you like and prefer. You need a crochet hook. I used a 5mm hook because I use a 5-ply yarn doubled, and you need stick markers, which is optional too, a scissors, and obviously you need the scrunchie that you will use as your base. So let's get right into it. As you can see right there, I doubled my yarn because I wanted this scrunchie to be done ASAP. I really want it to be done ASAP, so I doubled the yarn so that it can be bigger faster. So I started by making a knot right there. You can also tie the yarn around the scrunchie to create a strong, firm knot foundation. And then I made single crochets to fit the scrunchie. So I call it a scrunchie. I don't know what some of you call it. You may call it a hairband or whatever it is that you call it, scrunchie hairband, but you'll make single crochet right around that fit the hairband when stretched. As you can see, I'm demonstrating right there in the video. So you go right on ahead and make sure you put your single crochets not too tight, not too loose. All right, so let's get into it. Now I seriously fast forwarded some of the spots because it wasn't really necessary. And when we started with hanging yarn that I took with me around the scrunchie so I can fasten it, that's what I was cutting right there. So don't be worrying like, what did she cut? It was the loose yarn that I was that I had in the beginning. So right there, I'm done. I made one more single crochet, and after that, I made a slip stitch. So I made a slip stitch in the first stitch that I made in the beginning when I started making single crochets. All right. So that's my slip stitch right there. You make a slip stitch, and then we continue to make our first or our second, whichever first, second official row to start making the ruffles. Let's call it the first row because that's when we start making the ruffles. This is a base foundation stitches to help us, you know. So to make the first row of ruffles, I made 4 chains. Don't worry, in the video I made 3, but because I want to use trebles so that the ruffles are bigger, I don't want to waste too much time making so many rows. So in the first row, I made trebles. So trebles is when you yarn over twice on the hook. When you make a double crochet, you yarn over once, but when you want to make trebles, you yarn over twice. Like as you can see in the video, I will demonstrate shortly. So you make, to start that row, you make you chain 4, then you make trebles. So what I was doing right here, I was putting 3 trebles in 1 stitch. That's how I started to make my ruffles, to create my ruffles. I made 3 trebles in 1 stitch, and I did this in each and every stitch that I made. So as you can see, you yarn over twice and you go in that stitch right there. I'm pretty sure you know this, and then yeah, just follow the video. All right. So that's me right there making trebles. I made, as I've explained before, 3 trebles in each stitch right around the scrunchie, and that completes your first row of ruffles. So that's me right there demonstrating how you do it. So to make a treble, you yarn over twice, go in the stitch, take the first 2 loops, you take the other 2, you take the other 2, just as I was doing in the video right there. You see that I went over into that stitch, and the first 2 loops, I pulled that up, and I pulled the next 2 loops, pull that up, and then you have the last 2 loops, you pull that up. So you did that 3 times. So that's why they call the trebles. If you're a beginner in crocheting, then you probably might not know this, but if you're an intermediate or a crocheter, then obviously you probably won't be here and you probably know this. So, but if for beginners, that's a treble, okay? So I did this right around 3 times in each stitch, okay? That's me right there in my last stitch of the first row, 3 trebles, and then you make a slip stitch. So that's how the scrunchie look like in the first, after doing the first row. You can decide if you don't want it to be longer than that or thicker than that. You can just pretty much end here. Honestly, there is no formula or rules of what to do and what not to do. All right. So I wanted an extra row. But this time around, I didn't want to make trebles again in the last row because I did 2 official rows of ruffles. In this row, I did double crochets. And in the first row, we're doing 3 trebles in each stitch. But this time around, in this last row, I was doing 2 double crochets in each stitch. Okay? 2 double crochet, like you can see right there. So with a double crochet for a beginner, double crochet, you yarn over once. With the trebles, you were yarning over twice, like 1, 2. But with a double crochet, you yarn over once. Yeah. And right there, I was just demonstrating nothing important, but yeah, just make sure you do 2 double crochets in each stitch. But if you want probably more defined ruffles, you could still go ahead and do 3, but I really hate doing ruffles. So that's why I did 2 double crochets in each stitch in that second row. So that's it. We're done. And before that, I didn't cut my yarn to make sure that I like how it looks, because I didn't want to cut my yarn and then realize that, oh, maybe I want to go for another row. But after that, it looked okay for me. So I cut the yarn and I secured the ends of the yarn so that they don't come off when I'm using the scrunchie. So to just follow what I did right there. I just do random things, honestly, to secure. So, and after that, I made 3 tied knots, right? And I pulled to make sure the yarn is tied. And yeah. Oh, bless me. And that was it right there. The scrunchie is done. And those ruffles look quite nice, okay? And then you just fix them up and that's how it looks. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, follow, and you can also follow me on Instagram too. It's accessibleneats by Shami. Thank you. Mwah.